Sebastian Vettel just announced his retirement at the end of this year's 2022 season, which begs the question, who's going to fill his seat? The driver who I think is the most viable candidate is Mick Schumacher. The current Haas driver in Ferrari Jr. would have to leave his current contract to be picked up by Aston Martin, which wouldn't be a heavy lift. And knowing how much behind-the-scenes politics goes on in F1, I think it makes him a pretty strong candidate. After all, his name associated with Aston Martin would bring a bit of oomph behind the team. But more importantly, Mick would be replacing his mentor. He and Vettel have always had this sort of like Jedi Padawan sort of connection going on.
Hello there.
And I do believe that Vettel would lay the groundwork for Mick to take his place prior to announcing his retirement. So there's a good chance it could be a done deal. But that, my friends, remains to be seen. Another likely candidate to replace Vettel at Aston Martin is none other than Nick de Vries. You may have already seen him in on-screen interviews during F1 practice sessions. He's been a favorite for quite some time now in the F1 circles, and they've been watching him pretty closely. Nick was the Formula E World Champion in 2022 and 2021, as well as a 2019 Formula 2 champion. He holds 2 karting world championships in 2010 and 2011. Currently, he's competing in the Formula E season with Mercedes EQ Formula E team, as well as being the test and reserve driver for the Mercedes Petronas F1 team. So he's quite the resume, and he's very familiar with the 2022 Formula 1 car, and he's contracted under Mercedes, so that can't hurt. Another driver who's a viable option to replace Vettel would be 21-year-old Australian driver Oscar Piastri. He won the 2021 Formula 2 championship, the 2020 Formula 3 championship, and the 2019 Formula Renault championship. So he's definitely moving up the ranks rather quickly. Also, at his age, he has quite some room to grow in Formula 1. So if a team's looking to invest in a new young driver, he just might be the one they're looking for. Currently, he's a reserve driver for Alpine, so he too is closely familiar with the 2022 car. There are a few drivers who don't have confirmed seats as of yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're making the short list to replace Vettel at Aston Martin. Guys like Tsunoda, Albon, Latifi, Alonso. I don't think any of these guys are actually viable candidates. I don't know based on what I've seen. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know on who you would think would be the most viable candidate to replace Vettel at Aston Martin. Also, like and subscribe. Anyways, another option, although unlikely, would be current McLaren driver Daniel Ricciardo. 2 Aussies vying for the same position? I don't know about that. Now, Ricciardo has come under heat lately for his performance at McLaren, or should I say lack thereof. Thing is, though Ricciardo has stated publicly multiple times he fully intends to stay with McLaren through the end of his contract, which ends at the end of 2023, that doesn't exactly mean that lines up with Aston Martin's 2022 driver needs. However, contracts in Formula 1, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they're not worth the paper they're printed on. And Ricciardo is no spring chicken. I think this is 11th season in F1. So yeah, might just be an open spot at McLaren in the near future, regardless. What do you guys think? Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.